Hi there, it's March 22nd, and we are now getting into part 2 of Through the Bible in 1 Year. I'm separating this into parts myself and it seemed like a good place for part 2 because Moses just died and they're about to cross over the Jordan with Joshua now in command and go to the promised land. So let's jump over there and we'll go a little smaller here. We'll get into it. 4 chapters today. After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' minister, "Moses, my servant, is dead now. Therefore arise, go over this Jordan, and you and all this people into the land which I am giving to them, to the people of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given to you, as I promised to Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, of the great sea towards towards the going down of the sun shall be your territory. No man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not fail you or forsake you. Be strong and of good courage, for you shall cause this people to inherit the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous. Be careful to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Turn not from it to the right hand nor to the left, that you may have good success wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you shall make your way prosperous, and then you shall have good success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Be not frightened, neither be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." That's good, huh? Preparations for the invasion. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, "Pass through the camp and command the people, prepare your provisions, for within 3 days you are to pass over this Jordan to go in and take possession of the land which the Lord your God gives you to possess." And to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, Joshua said, "Remember the word which Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, saying, The Lord your God is providing you a place of rest in you, and will give you this land. Your wives, your little ones, your cattle shall remain in the land which Moses gave you beyond the Jordan. But all the men of valor among you shall pass over, armed before your brethren, and shall help them, until the Lord gives rest to your brethren as well as to you. And they also take possession of the land which the Lord your God is giving them. Then you shall return to the land of your possession, and shall possess it, the land which Moses, the servant of the Lord God, gave you beyond the Jordan towards the sunrise." And they answered Joshua, "All that you have commanded us we will do, and wherever you send us we will go. Just as we obeyed Moses in all things, so we will obey you. Only may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. Whoever rebels against your commandment and disobeys your words, whether you command him, shall be put to death. Only be strong and of good courage." His own people are helping him out. That's cool. Spies sent to Jericho. Chapter 2, finally. And Joshua, son of Nun, sent 2 men secretly from Shittim as spies, saying, "Go, view the land, especially Jericho." And they went and came into the houses of a harlot whose name was Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, "Behold, certain men of Israel have come here tonight to search out the land." Then the king of Jericho sent to Rahab, saying, "Bring forth the men that have come to you, who entered your house, for they have come to search out all the land." But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them. And she said, "True, men came to me, but I did not know where they came from." And when the gate was to be closed at the dark, the men went out. Where the men went, I do not know. Pursue them quickly, for you will overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof, and hid them with the stalks of flax which she had laid in order on the roof. So the men pursued after him on the way to the Jordan as far as the fords. And as soon as the pursuers had gone out, the gate was shut. Before they lay down, she came up to them on the roof, and said to them, I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that the fear of you has fallen upon us, and that all of the inhabitants of the land melt away before you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea before you when you came out of Egypt. And we know what you did to the 2 kings of the Amorites that were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. As soon as we heard it, our hearts melted, and there was no courage left in any man because of you, for the Lord your God, for is he who is God in heaven above and on earth beneath. Now then, swear to me by the Lord that as I have dealt kindly with you, you will also deal kindly with my father's house, and give me a sure sign, and save alive my father and mothers and my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them, and deliver our lives from death. And the men said to her, Our life is yours. If you do not tell us this business of ours, then we will deal. If you do not tell this business of ours, then we will deal kindly and faithfully with you when the Lord gives us the land. I kind of remember this, huh? Then she let them down by a rope through the window of her house, for her house was built into the city wall, so that she dwelt in the wall. And she said to them, Go into the hills, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days until the pursuers have returned. Then afterward you may go your way. The men said to her, We will be guiltless with respect to this oath of yours, which you have made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, you shall bind this scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and you shall gather into your house your father, your mother, your brothers, and all your father's household. If anyone goes out of the doors of your house and into the street, his blood shall be upon his head, and we shall be guiltless. But if a hand is laid upon anyone who is with you in the house, his blood shall be on our head. But if you tell this business of ours, then we shall be guiltless with respect to your oath which you have made us swear. And she said, According to your words, so be it. Then she sent them away, and they departed. And she bound the scarlet cord in the window. Interesting, huh? I remember this story as a kid. They departed and went into the hills and remained there 3 days until the pursuers returned, for the pursuers had made search all along the way and found nothing. Then the 2 men came down again from the hills and passed over and came to Joshua the son of Nun, and they told him all that had befallen him. And they said to Joshua, Truly the Lord has given all the land into our hands, and moreover all the inhabitants of the land are faint-hearted because of us. Okay, chapter 3. Israel crosses the Jordan. There it is. I've been waiting 40 years for this. Early in the morning, Joshua rose and set out from Shittim with all the people of Israel. That's like 1 million people, okay? And they came to the Jordan and lodged there before they passed over. At the end of 3 days, the officers went through the camp and commanded the people, When you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God being carried by the Levitical priests, then you shall set out from your place and follow it, that you may know the way you shall go. For you have not passed this way before, yet there shall be a space between you and it, the distance of about 2,000 cubits. Now, cubit is about 18 inches, about 1.5 feet, so, you're about 3,000 feet. That's a long 3,000 feet. That's like 3/4 of a mile. Do not come near it. And Joshua said to the people, Sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. And Joshua said to the priests, Take up the ark of the covenant and pass on before the people. And they took up the ark of the covenant and went before the people. And the Lord said to Joshua, This day I will begin to exalt you in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that I was with Moses, so I will be with you. And you shall command the priests who bear the ark of the covenant, When you come to the brink of the waters of the Jordan, you shall stand still in the Jordan. And Joshua said to the people of Israel, Come hither and hear the words of the Lord your God. And Joshua said, Hereby you shall know that the living God is among you, and that he will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Hivites, the Perizzites, the Geshites, the Amorites, the Jebusites. Wow. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth is to pass over before you into the Jordan. Now therefore take 12 men from the tribes of Israel, from each tribe a man. And when the soles of the feet of the priest who bear the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan shall be stopped from flowing, and the waters coming down from above shall stand in one heap. So when the people set out from their tents to pass over the Jordan, with the priests bearing the ark of the covenant before the people. And when those who bore the ark had come to the Jordan, and the feet of the priest bearing the ark were dipped in the brink of the water, the Jordan overflows all its banks throughout the time of the harvest. So this is in the fall, right? The waters coming down from above stood and rose up in a heap far off. At Adam, the city that is beside Zarethan, and those following down towards the sea of the Abaros, the salt sea, were wholly cut off, and the people passed over opposite Jericho. And while all people were passing over on dry ground, the priest who bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood on dry ground in the midst of the Jordan until all the nation finished passing over the Jordan. Now, this is 1 million people, so this probably took hours, okay? Okay, chapter 4. 12 stones set up at Gilgal. When all the nation had finished passing over the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, "Take 12 men from the people, a man from each tribe, and command them, take 12 stones from here out of the midst of the Jordan, and from every place where the priest set foot, carry them over with you and lay them down on the place where you lodge tonight." Then Joshua called the 12 men from the people of Israel, whom he had appointed, a man from each tribe. And Joshua said to them, "Pass on before the ark of the Lord your God in the midst of the Jordan, and take up each of you a stone upon his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the people of Israel, that this may be a sign among you when your children ask in time to come, 'What do those stones mean to you?' Then you shall tell them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord when it passed over the Jordan. The waters of the Jordan were cut off. So these stones shall be to the people of Israel a memorial forever." Got that? And the men of Israel did as Joshua commanded, and took up the 12 stones out of the midst of the Jordan, according to the number of the tribes of the people of Israel, as the Lord told Joshua. And they carried them over with them to a place where they lodged, and laid them down there. And Joshua set up the 12 stones in the midst of the Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests bearing the ark of the covenant had stood. And they are there to this day, for the priest who bore the ark stood in the midst of the Jordan until everything was finished. The Lord had commanded Joshua to tell the people according to all that Moses had commanded Joshua. The people passed over in haste, and when all the people had finished passing over the ark of the Lord, and the priest passed over before the people, the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad and the half tribe of Manasseh passed over armed before the people of Israel, and Moses had hidden them. As Moses had hidden them, about 40,000 ready, armed for war, passed over before the Lord for battle to the plains of Jericho. On that day the Lord exalted Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they stood in awe of him, as they had stood in awe of Moses all the days of his life. And the Lord said to Joshua, "Command the priests who bear the ark of the testimony to come up out of the Jordan." Joshua therefore commanded the priests to come up out of the Jordan, and when the priest bearing the ark of the covenant of the Lord came up out of the midst of the Jordan, the soles of the priest's feet were lifted up on dry ground. The waters of the Jordan returned to their place and overflowed all its banks as before. The people came up out of the Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and they encamped in Gilgal on the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan, Joshua set up in Gilgal. And he said to the people of Israel, "When your children ask their fathers in time to come, 'What do these stones mean?' then you shall tell your children, 'No, Israel passed over this Jordan on dry ground, for the Lord your God dried up the waters of the Jordan for you until you passed over, as the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, when he dried up for us until it was passed over, so that all the peoples of earth may know that the hand of the Lord is mighty, that you may fear the Lord your God forever." Get that? Cool. So, we're well on our way, aren't we? What's going on tomorrow? A new generation circumcised. That's always fun. Passover at Gilgal. Joshua's vision. He has a vision. Jericho taken and destroyed, right? Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. Yeah. Remember that song as a kid. Well, that's happening tomorrow. Cool. So, there you have it. That's today. Apologize for the late hour. I had a busy day, but we'll get it in before the day's over. So that's day 82 and the start of part 2 of our Through the Bible in 1 Year. So catch up on any you may have missed. You want to say you read the whole Bible in a year? Give us a like if you think about it. Until tomorrow, we'll start all over again. See you later.